Hello dear students, welcome to the biology classes. Okay, in previous classes we have discussed cell cycle and started with the cell division. You already know cell division, it mainly takes place in the about two steps. It mainly takes place in the two steps. The first step, it is involved in the karyokinesis. You all know that karyokinesis means it is the process where nuclear division will be takes place. That is said to be a karyokinesis. Okay, that is said to be karyokinesis. Then the second step, that is called as cytokinesis. You all know that cytokinesis means cyto means cytoplasm, kinesis means division. Okay, cytokinesis means it is the process of division of cytoplasm. Okay, these are the mainly two steps which involved in the formation of new cells. Okay, the first one is karyokinesis and the second step is cytokinesis. Okay, the cell division, they mainly takes place in three steps, or there are mainly three types of cell divisions. The first one is a mitosis. The first one is a mitosis, wherein a direct cell division takes place. You can observe in the yeast cell. Okay, you can observe in the yeast cell, or you can also observe in the bacterial cell. Then second division or second type of division, that is mitosis. That is mitosis. This is also called as indirect cell division. It is also called as indirect cell division, or it is also called as equational cell division. What? It is also called as equational cell division. It is also called as somatic cell division. Okay, it is also called as somatic cell division. Why it is called as equational cell division and why it is called as somatic cell division, we will discuss a little bit later. Okay, then the third cell division, that is meiosis. The third cell division, that is meiosis, that is also called as reductional division. Okay, that also called as reductional cell division. In these three cell divisions, firstly we will start with the amitosis or the direct cell division. Okay, what is the definition of the amitosis or the direct cell division? That is, amitosis is a cell division wherein parental cell divides unequally and gives two unequal sized daughter cells. Two unequal sized daughter cells. In this step or in this division, the mainly a parental cell which directly gives rise to two daughter cells. Okay, a parental cell which directly gives rise to two daughter cells, wherein a parental cell first and foremost which has to give or which has to show division in the nucleus, which has to show which has to show first division in the nucleus, that is nothing but the karyokinesis. That is the first step of cell division, that is karyokinesis. Then where a nucleus will divides to form two nuclei, and that two nuclei formation, that is followed by the cytokinesis. That is followed by the cytokinesis means division of cytoplasm. Division of cytoplasm. Here first parental cell is there. Okay, this parental cell which enlarges its size. Okay, then nucleus also starts nucleus also starts enlarge its size, means there is a duplication of nucleus, or there is a duplication of nuclear material takes place. Then the second thing, what happens in the second stage, that is the nuclear material, it will takes a elongated or the dumbbell shape. It will form the dumbbell shape. Then in the third step or in the third diagram, we can observe the formation of a furrow in between the cell. There is a formation of furrow in between the cell. Okay, that is the furrow. Then after in the after next step, that what furrow which will going to deepens, and there will be a formation of two daughter cells. There will be a formation of two daughter cells, and those two daughter cells are having the same number of, or they might be having a same number of nucleus or nuclear material, or it might be different. it may get same amount of nuclear material, or it may get unequal number of nuclear material or the chromatin material. That is said to be a mitosis. A mitosis, it is nothing but the what? A mitosis, it is a cell division where parental cell divides unequally and gives rise to two unequal sized daughter cells. Then second type of cell division, that is second type of cell division, that is nothing but the what? Mitosis. That is nothing but the mitosis. Then what is mitosis? I already told you, mitosis, it is also called as somatic cell division, equational cell division, or indirect cell division. First and foremost, we should know the definition of what? Definition of mitosis. The definition of mitosis is, mitosis, it is a cell division. Mitosis, it is a cell division wherein parental cell divides into two daughter cells and each daughter cell receives same number of chromosome as that of the parental cell. It is known as mitosis. Mitosis means there is a parental cell. Okay, there is a parental cell. That parental cell divides. Okay, that parental divides and forms the two daughter cells, and that produces the two daughter cells. As you can observe in the mitosis step. Okay, that is mitosis, but we can use that diagram for the mitosis. There is a parental cell, then that divides to form, lastly that divides to form two daughter cells. In mitosis, there is a unequal division, but in case of mitosis, there is a equal division. Okay, equal division, equational division. Okay, where parental cell that divides to two daughter cells, where the daughter cells they receive, or the daughter cells they carry the same number of chromosomes as that of the parental cell. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ, parental cell ಒಳಗಡೆ, parental nucleus ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ನಂಬರ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, ಅಷ್ಟ ನಂಬರ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಡಾಟರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನಿರ್ತಾವೆ, ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. ಅಂಥದನ್ನು ನಾವೇನು ಅನ್ಬೋದು ರೀ, ಮೈಟೋಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಸೇಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಮೈಟೋಸಿಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಸೆಲ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ವೇರ್ parental cell divides into two daughter cells and each daughter cell that receives same number of chromosomes as that of the parental cell. Is it clear? Okay, I hope you all understand the definition of mitosis. Then there is another name for the mitosis, that is called as equational division. That is also called as equational division. Why it is called as equational division? Because in mitosis, for example, you can take a human cell. Okay, a human cell that carry or that is having what? 46 number of chromosomes. A somatic cell, it is having 46 number of chromosome. Then that parental cell, if it undergo cell division, and that parental cell divides to form two daughter cells, then those two daughter cells also receives the same number of chromosomes. If a human cell that may contain that is containing 46 number of chromosomes, as well as daughter cells also, they carry or they receive from the parent 46 number of chromosomes. That's why this type of division, mitosis, it is also called as equational cell division. Is it clear? It is also called as equational cell division. Why it is called as equational cell division? Because the daughter cells they receive same number of chromosomes as that of the parent. Hence it is called as equational cell division. Then this mitosis, it is also called as somatic cell division. Why it is called as somatic cell division? Because the cells which are involved in the mitosis, they are they are not the reproductive cells. They are the somatic cells. Mitosis only occur in the somatic cells, or mitosis only occur in the vegetative cells, hence it is called as somatic cell division. Is it okay? It is called as somatic division because the mitosis it occurs only in the what somatic cells or the vegetative cells. Hence this mitosis cell division, it is also called as what somatic cell division. Then it is also called as equational cell division because the daughter cells, they receive the same number of chromosomes as that of the parental cell. Okay, then again I am stressing what is the definition of mitosis. The definition of the mitosis is it is the cell division wherein parental cell divides into two daughter cells, and each cell or each daughter cell receives the same number of chromosomes as that of the parental cell. ಪೇರೆಂಟಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅಥವಾ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಂಬರ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಡಾಟರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾವ, ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ, ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸ್ತಾವ. ಓಕೆ, ದ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ದಿಸ್ ವಾಟ್ mitosis it is called as equational cell division. Then M phase has been classified or further classified into four following steps. Okay, first one prophase, then metaphase, then anaphase, then lastly telophase. Okay, this metaphase has been classified into four further steps. Okay, we are trying to understand the more and more clear concept in order to understand clearly, in order to understand more clear concepts of metaphase. Then for our convenience, the mitosis step has been divided into further four steps. The first step is that is prophase, then second one metaphase, then third one anaphase, and lastly telophase. Okay, then we should know what are the changes or what are the phenomena, what are the processes, what are the things which are happened during the prophase of the metaphase, that we should know. Okay, in a cell certainly some processes has been done in the prophase of the metaphase. These we will understand right now. Some of the followings during processes happened during the prophase. Those are, the first one, thin chromatin material undergo coiling, condensation and dehydration, become thick structure called chromosomes. Then each chromosome having two rod shaped structures are called chromatids or the bivalent. Okay, in the prophase step, the chromatin material, in the prophase, the chromatin material which is present inside the nucleus, that undergo or that starts coiling. Okay, that starts coiling. Coiling means rotating or round, formation of rounds. Okay, formation of rounds. That will starts, and due to the rotation or due to the rounding of chromatin material, that is called as coiling nature. Okay, due to the coiling or the condensation of the chromatin material, that forms the some rod-like structures, some short rod-like structures. They are called as chromosomes. Those chromosomes which are formed by the process called as condensation and the coiling nature of the DNA, or it is happened due to the coiling nature and condensation of the chromatin material. Then lastly dehydration also takes place in the nucleus, or dehydration also takes place in the chromatin material. Then that will be results in the formation of thick structures called as chromosomes. Is it clear? Okay, that chromosome is provided with the two rod shaped structures. Each chromosome that is provided with the two rod shaped structures, they are called as chromatids, or they are also called as bivalent. As you can observe here, okay, you can observe here it is a presence of centromere. Okay, you can observe the two round shaped structures here. two round shaped structures are present here. Okay, they are nothing but the centromere of the what? Centromere of the chromatin or chromosome, and some extended portion which is arised from the arisen from the centromere, that is called as, that is nothing but the chromatin material, that is nothing formed that is formed by the chromatin material, then that is called as chromatid, yes, those chromosomes formed by the chromatids. Okay, in the prophase stage, these chromatids are called as bivalents. Why they are called as bivalents? Because a centromere which is having only two chromatids, or each chromosome it is having two chromatids. That's why this structure it is called as bivalent or bivalent chromosome. We can also refer it as bivalent chromosome. It is the first change which is happened during the prophase. Then second, the distinct nuclear membrane disintegrates and lastly disappears. The second process or the second phenomena that is happening during the prophase stage, that is distinct nuclear membrane, means there is a, you can observe, there is a nuclear membrane is present. Okay, here this is the nuclear membrane. This nuclear membrane starts disintegrates means nothing but the what? Disappearing, starts to disappear. Primarily it is starts to disappear slowly, and as the prophase stage go on, then the nuclear membrane will disappears completely. Okay, in early prophase we can observe the disintegrating nuclear membrane. In the late prophase or in the prophase last stage, we can't observe the nuclear membrane, where the nuclear membrane gets disintegrated completely. Okay, that is called as disappearance of nuclear membrane. It is the second step or second process that was happening during the prophase of the metaphase. Then third one, the nucleolus decreases its size and lastly disappears. See here, you can observe a round shaped structure. Okay, round dot shaped structure here. Okay, that is nothing but the this is nothing but the nucleolus. See here, a round shaped structure, that is nothing but the nucleolus, that is having a large structure, or that is having a large size inside the nucleus. During the early prophase it starts to disintegrate, and at the late prophase it completely disappears. Okay, it completely disappears. The nucleolus decreases its size and lastly disappears. It is the third phenomenon, or it is the third process happening during the prophase of the metaphase. Then the fourth step is, or the fourth process happening during the prophase, that is the centrioles surrounded by the spindle fibers. Surrounded by the spindle fibers and forms asters. One pair of centriole move towards the opposite pole. One pair of the centriole which move towards the opposite pole. Yes, you can observe in the diagram. Here you can observe the centrioles. See, these are the centrioles. It is the first centriole and it is the second centriole. A pair of centrioles which are present in the, actually there are two pair. Okay, among the two pair, one pair of centriole which are present in the one side pole, and another pair of the centriole which starts to migrate from one pole to the another pole, and which starts to migrate in this direction and starts to migrate downward direction. And one pair of centriole which is present at the top, and another pair of centriole which is present at the below. Is it clear? Okay, then you can observe the aster. Here there is another word, that is aster. The centriole surrounded by the spindle fibers and form the aster. That means a centriole, okay, centriole which is covered by the what membrane like structure, that is called as centrosome. We already studied this in the previous chapters, okay, in the cell. A centrosome, sorry, centriole, it is the structure, centriole, it is the structure which is covered or which is surrounded by the membrane structure, that is called as what? Centrosome. That is called as centrosome. Inside the centriole, there will be a formation of spindle fibers. There will be a formation of spindle fiber. Okay, you can observe the aster like structures or rays like structures. They are nothing but the what? These are the structures, aster like structures. These are nothing but the what? Asters. Okay, it looks like aster. Aster means star shape. idenakatre star shape structure anna hondutide. Okay, then that is called as asters. How the aster is formed? Because the spindle fiber is formed in the centriole. Centriole ಇಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದು spindle fibers ಏನಾಗತ್ತವು ಬರಾಕತ್ತವು. Okay, that's why it is called as then it looks like aster. Aster means star shape structure anna ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. That's why it is called as aster. Centrioles are surrounded by the spindle fiber and forms the aster, and one pair of centriole which is present at the one pole and another pair of centriole which starts to migrate from one pole to the opposite pole. Okay, these all are the processes happened during the early prophase as well as late prophase. But another thing I was forgotten to tell, that is what? The condensation becomes more and more during the late prophase and results in the formation of a thick chromatids. Formation of thick chromatids also takes place at the late prophase. And the second step in the mitosis, that is metaphase. Okay, some of the processes has been taken place in the metaphase of the mitosis. Okay, those are nothing but the first step is during the metaphase formation of spindle fiber takes place. Okay, during the metaphase the formation of the spindle fibers takes place. Okay, these spindle fibers, they are mainly two types. They are nothing but the continuous spindle fibers and discontinuous spindle fibers and non-continuous spindle fibers, or chromosomal spindle fibers and non-chromosomal spindle fibers. The second step, that is the spindle fiber attached to the chromosome. The spindle fiber attached to the chromosomes are called as chromosomal spindle fibers. The spindle fibers mainly which have formed or which have started their journey arising from the centrioles. Then centriole produces the spindle fiber, then they will attach it to the centromere part of the chromosome. Then they will spindle fiber, they will attach it to the centromere part of the chromosome. Then those spindle fibers are said to be chromosomal spindle fibers. They are said to be chromosomal spindle fibers. Then another set of spindle fiber, they were not attached to the chromosome part or any part of the chromosome. Then those spindle fibers are said to be they are said to be continuous spindle fibers. They are said to be continuous spindle fibers. Here there are two types of spindle fibers has been formed. One is chromosomal spindle fiber, another one is continuous spindle fiber. Because chromosomal spindle fiber which are formed from the centriole and they were attached to the centromere part of the chromosome. Okay, they were stopped their what polymerization process. But the another type of spindle fiber which are also arised from the what centriole part of the centriole part, then they will starts their journey, or they will starts to produce, and they will reach the another centriole which is present at the another pole. Okay, there is no disinterruption between in that spindle fiber. Those type of spindle fibers are said to be continuous spindle fibers. Okay, then third step or third process which is happened, or which will happen during the process, that is during metaphase, chromosomes are arranged in the equatorial plane. The centromere are exactly at the equatorial region and arms are facing towards the poles. Okay, in this process or in this metaphase stage, it is the one of the important criteria, or it is one of the important phenomena happened during the metaphase. That is, whatever amount of chromosomes, or whatever may be the number of chromosomes which are present inside the nucleus, they are come and lie at the equatorial plane, or center part of the cell, Okay, they will come and lie at the center place of the cell. That line is said to be equatorial line, middle line or equatorial line, that is said to be equatorial line. Then all the chromosomes come and lie at the equatorial plane, that is said to be metaphase plate, or it is also called as equatorial plate. Okay, then all the chromosomes which are come and lie on the equatorial plate, then chromosomal arms or the chromatids which are facing towards the another important character, which are facing towards the opposite poles, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ, ಒಂದು ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರೊಮ್ಯಾಟಿಡ್ಸ್ ಏನಕ್ಕವ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಪೋಲ್ ಕಡೆ ಮುಖ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕ್ರೊಮ್ಯಾಟಿಡ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾವು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ದೇ ವೇರ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ poles. Okay, then the fourth process happened during the metaphase, that is by arrangement of chromosomes. There is a formation of metaphasic plate. Okay, earlier I said that chromosomes which are come and lie at the equatorial line, and there will be a formation of the plate like structure, that is called as metaphase plate. Why it is called as metaphase plate? Because this is means chromosome come and lie at the equatorial line. This is happened during the metaphase of the mitosis, hence it is named as metaphase plate or the metaphasic plate. Then it is happening in the equatorial line, it is happened in the equatorial line, hence it is also called as equatorial plate. Yes, you can observe here there is a cell is present. Okay, this is the cell. Then this cell layer or cell membrane which is having the number of spindle fibers. Okay, this is having the number of spindle fibers. These are nothing but the spindle fibers. See, this is the spindle fiber. This is formed by the structure called as centriole. This is a spindle fiber which has been formed by the structure called as centriole. This centriole which forms the continuous or discontinuous spindle fibers which are present in the form of star. That's why it is also called as aster. This aster structure which starts its structure continuation till the attachment till the attachment of centrosome or centromere part of the chromosome. Centromere part of the chromosome. Once it attaches the centromere part of the chromosome, then another spindle fiber which is not attached to the centromere part of the chromosome, but which will start producing and which will reach the another centriole which is present at the another pole. Okay, which is present at the another pole, that is called as, which is disinterrupted in the at any stage, which is interrupted at any stage. That's why it is called as what? Continuous spindle fiber. It is called as continuous spindle fiber, and this is interrupted here in between the that's why it is called as this type of spindle fiber is called as what? Chromosomal spindle fiber antele karitare. Is it clear? Okay, then you can observe the chromosomes, centromere part of the chromosome. It is the centromere part of the chromosome. Then this is the chromatid. Then this is the discontinuous or the chromosomal spindle fiber, and you can observe the straight line here. This is continuous spindle fiber, and this is the aster structure. This is the aster structure. Is it clear? Okay, I will stop here with the 2 steps, and if you have any doubts you can text me.